Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Tonight we're bringing you a matchup between Caleb and DemonRHK in the first round of the Mystic Quest Randomizer tournament for Speed Gaming Live. This match is the first in the best of three matchup. My name is Haybinks, and I will be your host for tonight's event. Really quick, I did want to give a shout out to the crew who got this organized so quickly for us tonight. A little bit of last minute, but I am glad that we are hosting this for everybody tonight. I hope everybody enjoys the run. We should be starting here in just a few moments. And it looks like our runners are off already. There we go. Starting off strong in the Alive Forest here. Let's see what our runners get. Looks like the Captain's Cap is handed out first. That is one of our first Go Mode items. So to cover Go Mode items really quick, there are 8 items required for the completion of the game. That would be Mega Grenades, Dragon Claw, Captain's Cap, Thunder Rock, Mobius Crest, Sky Coin, and Sun Coin. So our runners will be looking out for those 8 key items. While I was giving that quick description, our runners also picked up their second item for the run. Looks like we might be going to Fireberg first. We got the River Coin, unless we get one of the other coins as well, and that'll kind of open everything up. So to notate a few differences about the randomizer versus the vanilla game, first of all, a little bit of divergence here from our runners. This will be interesting to see. Caleb decided to take the battleground while DemonRHK went straight in Bone Dungeon. But the first thing you'll notice is that our runners are moving at twice the movement speed that they normally would. DemonRHK picking up a shield. It looks like Caleb picked up a white spell. I could not see which one it was exactly, and unfortunately we don't have the spells on the tracker. I'm sure I will be seeing that as we go. And Demon getting the Aegis Shield from Tristram. That'll be great for petrification resistance on the final boss. So for tonight's seed, it looks like what our runners will be doing is basically running through all vanilla locations. There's an option in the randomizer to shuffle in the red chest amongst the brown boxes, but every NPC in Battleground, as well as the red chest locations in the vanilla game, will give key items to our runners. The key items are just shuffled amongst those locations, and it's up to our runners to route the best that they can and figure out where the best option is to go ahead and find those items. This is a very shield heavy start. We've already got the Aegis Shield and the Steel Shield. Why not throw the Venus Shield on there for good measure, just to make sure we got them all covered. Demon starting his battle with the Skelosaurus Rex. Caleb not too far behind. And both of our runners are basically neck and neck with each other still. Just a slight divergence here at the very beginning. Caleb opted to go get some levels, or a level from the battlefield west of the Sand Temple before entering Bone Dungeon, while Demon rushed straight in. And we'll see if that white spell does our runners any good. Doesn't look like we have a lot of HP here on Skelosaurus Rex as it goes down relatively quickly. Looks like 2 shuriken tosses from Tristram did the job. And we are off to a fast start. Bomb start is definitely one of the fastest starts in the game. You get to knock out the Bone Dungeon relatively early. You don't have to worry about backtracking. And it also offers our runners, at least for the early game, a very consistent source of damage. So I'll be interested to see how they route this out moving forward. Our first item we get from the left chest is Excalibur and the Sky Coin. So let's go mode item number 2 and number 3. I forgot to mention you do need a sword to complete this specific seed. In the randomizer, there's an option for having standard, and it looks like Caleb had picked up Exit. Okay, that's a game changer. I'll get to that in just a second, but you do need a sword to complete the game, because the Ice Pyramid Revisit section of Doom Tower does need a sword. That Exit pickup is going to make a huge bit of difference between Demon and Caleb. Right now, Demon having to walk all the way back out, while Caleb taking that battleground first gives him a huge lead here, in the sense that he could just basically do half the dungeon and peace out. So we'll see if Demon does take the battleground. He will, so he will be catching up to Caleb a little bit here. Caleb already picking up Ruben. Let's see what Tristram 2 has to give us from the hotel. battle axe. So already we have 3 of our 4 item weapon sets. Both of our runners still missing claws here, so they still are slightly gated behind progression. There's 2 battlegrounds in Fireburg that our runners will probably be clearing out for items, as well as 1 for money. Money routing is very important for this run, just so you can make sure that you can afford to shop items from the vendors, and whatever money you don't spend at those vendors, our runners will likely be dumping into seeds to restore their spell slots. Caleb opting for the 1200 GP battleground here. That'll give him plenty of money to spare. Let's see what our first vendor in Fireburg has to offer. Selling the Sun Coin. That's go mode item number 4. Now you can sub out the Sun Coin if you have the multi-key in the Mobius crest. You can actually teleport it from the Hermit's house after you get the multi-key using a Mobius crest to get to Windia that way. Caleb moving on to the battleground south of the mines here, while DemonRHK is picking up Ruben and getting his Tristram check out of the way. Again, Tristram giving the battle axe. And I missed what Caleb had. I thought I had a few more battles in me, unfortunately, but Caleb opting to go to Volcano next and picking up the regular axe. That's not something you want to see exiting out right away instead of opting to go fight Medusa. At level 4, that is a rough fight. He only has the Aegis Shield to his name, but he is running to the other battleground. Looks like DemonRHK going to the same one. So both of our runners here reconverging on their routing here. And I think both of our runners here are fishing for an a sand coin to go to Aquaria. Generally the safer start of the 2 locations that you generally get out of the 3 options. And not a lot of opposition at this battleground. Looks like single hedgehogs are only standing in our way here. Not very high roll HP. So to elaborate on that, all of the enemies in the randomizer seeds for Speed Gaming Live all have rolled 75% of their base stats from the vanilla game, and there's the sand coin drop from that battleground. But they've rolled 75% of their base stats, which means that essentially they're 75% as strong as they would normally be, but there is a 50% spread applied, which means our enemies can be as weak as 25% as they are in the vanilla game, or as strong as 125%. And all those enemies are randomized with that spread in mind, so we might see some extra thick enemies here, and we might see some paper thin ones. Caleb opted to go to the Sun Coin chest in Doom Tower, and he gets a Dragon Claw for his efforts. Meanwhile, DemonRHK opting to go to that 1200 GP battleground to get some early money. Caleb taking the route to Aquaria here now. Either just stopping to pick up the chest or maybe deciding to knock out some more checks. Picking up the Libra Crest for his trouble, so he'll be able to immediately check the old man after picking up Phoebe to see what's inside that temple. Demon getting stun locked here, paralysis, is definitely not something you want to see. It is a risk that you run in getting that battleground early. Caleb getting Blizzard for his troubles in the Libra Temple. This is one of the hazards you run with a low level Ben. Unfortunately, some of the enemies can be downright nasty and just spam over and over and over those paralysis moves or petrification moves, and if you get status effect locked, it can feel like agony waiting for either your character to die or for you to break free. Paralysis does have a chance to break free every round, and it's just kind of a roll of the dice whether or not you get out. Caleb moving on to the battleground south of Aquaria here, and after picking up Phoebe, this should be pretty easy. All of our enemies look like they rolled relatively low HP, so a few fire casts, looks like we have 5, should get them through no problem. And Demon now on his second battleground here. Looks like I mistook the XP battleground he took for the GP one. Similar mobs can spawn from the battleground, but he has gotten his money, and it looks like he's moving on to the battleground south of mines. Again, another 1 encounter battleground here. It looks like he's got 3 lizards lined up, while Caleb should be wrapping up torching his enemies here, and he gets thunder, the weakest of the wizard spells, but a wizard spell is a wizard spell. Caleb opting to do some more shopping. Demon getting a steel helm for his troubles, and darn that woman standing in front of there. Looks like our Aquaria vendor selling Tree Wither. This unlocks Kaylee 1, if our runners ever do decide to go back to Foresta. And it looks like Caleb's taken a quick nap here to restore his spell charges. Did not do any seed shopping before leaving Fireberg, so this is the only method he has to to restore his spell slots here. And it looks like he's taken off for Wintry Cave. That's definitely a quick check for our runners here. So in the randomizer seed, you definitely want to strategize and try to get quicker checks versus ones that have enemies. The enemy density for tonight, after it looks like Caleb's getting his gas mask, the density set for tonight is 50% of the normal enemy density, and their positions have been randomized. So you might see enemies in some funky positions here, some that might not stand in the way, and we might see some Congo lines tonight of enemies just getting in the way of our runners. Looks like Demon's about to get his Dragon Claw, and Caleb is about to go make himself some calamari. But you definitely want to make sure that you are routing around basically your party member and Ben. Early game, Ben is not a huge contributor to the party. He's definitely got a low HP pool and usually not that strong unless you have mega grenades. His spell slots are limited, so you're really banking on your party members early game to really kind of carry you until you can start contributing to the party generally with more spell slots and more powerful spells. So working within the limitations of your party members is crucial here. If you're stuck with Tristram 1, you really don't want to be taking on in-game Aquaria or Fireberg until you go and pick up another party member. Caleb making quick work of the squid here. Looks like we're going to be picking up the noble armor for his troubles, which will be a nice prevention of poison status at least for our runners. And now going on the Falls Basin. Doesn't look like we have too many enemies in the way for our trouble. Caleb taking an extra second here to figure out this puzzle position for his block. Should not be too much trouble at all. And it looks like this fish is just getting in the way, so we might just need to grill him up real quick. Extra crispy with some thunder, get him out of the way. Demon onto his battleground south of Aquaria to get his item drop from there. And Caleb accidentally pushing that puzzle block in the wrong position here. It's okay. A quick reset will go ahead and get him back into position. The extra movement speed here can be frustrating for our runners, especially if they're trying to push a block and you accidentally basically soft locked it into a position. So needing to take a little extra care with our inputs here. Holding the directional input for a little bit too long can be a little bit frustrating, especially when there's no reset mechanic besides exiting and coming back in. And Caleb with his third reset here, trying to keep his composure while he goes ahead and gets this figured out. Looks like he's got that one tricky one out of the way. The rest should be no problem. And Demon on to his shopping. Also opting to buy the Tree Wither. The Tree Wither is required to unlock Kaylee 1. So essentially, at the beginning of the game in Vanilla, you just get the Tree Wither from the old man, you go up Kaylee, and she helps you kill a Minotaur. Since the Tree Wither is not guaranteed, you can't opt to pick up Kaylee until you get that drop, no matter how dead that forest might be. Demon onto the block puzzle now as well, opting to go to Falls Basin before the Wintry Cave. Also realizing that he too might need to kill that fish to get that block in the right position. Caleb onto the giant crab fight here. Making good use of the Excalibur sword here. So all the weapons in Mystic Quest give hidden stat value increases. In the vanilla game, it might not be too big, and it's not used too much until in-game. For this randomizer, it makes a huge difference. So that +5 speed bonus from the sword can let Caleb get in quicker turns, and also it just happens to be his highest damaging weapon. Ooh, getting a steel sword for his reward here, not something you want to see here. Especially since he's already got Excalibur. But the sword gives you a +5 speed bonus, so if you're trying to get in turns before your enemies, having that equipped is definitely going to help out there. Now the claw weapons give a +5 magic bonus. Caleb upgrading the jumbo bombs in the first chest here as he enters Ice Pyramid. Claws will give you a +5 magic bonus, so if you need to pack a little extra punch to your spells, having a claw weapon equipped will do that for you. Axes give you a bonus to your strength, although axes are typically the least reliable weapons in Ben's arsenal. It's typically because they are just not very accurate. And bombs are the most consistent source of damage. They can't miss, but they also can't crit. So both of our runners now entering Ice Pyramid here. Again, I don't think Demon opted to go to Wintry Cave, so he's missing the Phoebe check and the Squid check. But I don't believe there were any go mode items from Wintry Cave, so he's not missing out on much here. Both of our runners missing the magic mirror, so they will be navigating this section blind. I'll be interested to see if they opt to run away from these fights, if they have wider hallways, or if they'll go ahead and fight them for the XP. It looks like Caleb's opting to run away from fights that are not mandatory here. These one-way passageways, you'll have to make your fights to progress, but these two-way hallways that Caleb's about to come up on after this battle, you can just opt to run away and then go around if possible. Caleb opting to use some of his fire charges here to clear out the fodder. I'm wondering if he's going to try to hold on to any of those for the Ice Golem fight here at the end, or if he's just going to kind of burn it all down and deal with it what may come. And it looks like we got some extra thick chickens tonight. Taking 3 fire casts there. Caleb burning through some spell slots. Hopefully he saves some for the boss. Opting to run away again, getting around those. Let's see if Demon's also going to opt to run away from non-essential encounters here. So you'll also see our runners when they're, looks like Caleb has noticed how many spell charges he's burned through and is now opting to save some of his charges. And you'll notice our runners strategically swapping around their weapons. Almost all the enemies in the game have some sort of weakness, whether it be a spell element or a weapon type. Some enemies are weak to bombs, some are weak to axes. There are no enemies that are weak to swords. And there are no enemies that are weak to claws, but claws can give status ailments, so that's not a problem there. So knowing your enemy types and knowing which ones are weak to what can also be critical in navigating the game and getting through these encounters quickly. I'm going to see what HP this Sphinx rolls. So when you use bombs, the spell, the damage is divided up much like a spell would be in essence. So if you hit 2 enemies with a bomb at the same time, it's going to do half the damage. 3 enemies, it's going to divide your damage up into thirds, from as opposed if you were to just throw bombs on one enemy here. And Caleb also probably opting to stick to bombs just because he is blind, but these tentacle monsters here also have bomb weakness. So making clever use of that weapon weakness here. Onto our narrow bridge here. Now our runners can fall off this pathway. With the speed increase here, this could be a problem. Demon taking a dive here. Not the end of the world though, as there is a red chest check in here. Let's see what he picks up. The cat claw. So if a runner does pick up a weapon that is weaker or lower level than their current weapon type, what'll happen is they'll be forced to equip that weapon, but shortly after they can just swap back, and the game will automatically equip the strongest weapon of that type available to them. So they aren't stuck with the low tier item just because they picked one up. Caleb doing his best to tap dance across this walkway, taking extra precaution here not to fall down. And he's on to his final floor here. Gets the magic mirror. A little bit of irony here. The French vanilla magic mirror, and typically you get the mirror from the first chest that he checked here, but being able to see this final set of enemies and the enemies that he hasn't seen from the fall floor should be a little nice. Should be nice for him to navigate around. All right, Caleb is topping off with some some cure casts here, healing that blindness. And it looks like he's ready to roll on this golem. Demon accidentally running into a Lamia fight here. Let's see if he runs away from this. Yep. Now, the difference between our 2 runners here, Demon opted to keep Ruben, who is a slightly higher level and deals a lot of damage with his Morningstar, but Phoebe's got the spell power with fire magic here being a weakness. Both of them should be doing about the same amount of damage. If anything, Ruben will be hitting harder, but less consistency. That the Morningstar does have a chance to miss. And it looks like Caleb should have just enough charges to finish off the big snowman here. Getting a crit on that Excalibur, and he is done with the golem fight. Now, Ruben doing about the same amount of damage with his Morningstar that Phoebe was doing with fire. I think actually a little bit more. So as long as he doesn't miss, this fight should be about on the same track as Caleb. Also, depending on how many of those water magic casts the golem throws out, this could be a problem. Ben is down. Let's see if Ruben can power on through this. Ruben dangerously low here. Demon probably going to have to take a turn to go ahead and life Ruben, get him back up to full health. And the snowman here is just rebuilding himself out. Ruben does not have resistance to water like Phoebe does. So he's taking about 500 damage per ice magic cast, and it is doing some major damage. Frosty Snowman is not giving Demon a break. Caleb opting to go back to Forest, though. Looks like he is going to go ahead and check Kaylee 1 while he is here. He does not have the elixirs, so he'll have to come back if he gets that, if she's holding on to a go mode item. But for now, it looks like he's playing it safe and just making sure she doesn't have any checks. This will be a rather quick fight, chat, as the Minotaur only has about 500 HP, if that. And congratulations to Chanigan, whose internet tragically died earlier today. He was going to be joining me in the booth. I don't know if he still will. He's more than welcome. But unfortunately, he had to get that taken care of. In today's modern world, the true final boss is always your ISP and their reliability. Caleb making short work of that Minotaur here. Let's see what Kaylee hands off. It is the Cupid Locket. Not a go mode item, but definitely something you want to see. This will prevent Ben from being blinded and confused. Definitely two status ailments you don't want to have. Demon now going to the Wintry Cave, getting his gas mask, and he's on his way to fight the big squid. So it looks like Caleb will now be taking a trip to Windy instead of going back to Fireburg. We'll see if he stops off at the Alive Force with that axe check real quick since he has exit. No, unfortunately, there is no protection from falling in love, Chad. It just kind of happens. Windy, a vendor, selling the Night Sword. Caleb saying, no thank you, I'll keep my 400 GP for that. And Caleb now picking up Phoebe 2. He did have to swap out partners for... You could probably still fall in love, chat. You just won't be blinded or confused. If anything, it restores some sense of reason to you after you fall in love. But Caleb did have to swap out a partner before going to pick up Phoebe 2, since he already had Phoebe in his party. So going back and getting Kaylee 1 and getting that check out of the way does make a lot of sense now. On his way to Mount Gale Hill, this is one of the faster checks in the windier region. While Pazuzu's Tower does have 3 key item checks, including the boss himself, Mount Gale only has 1, but enemy density here seems to be playing nice, and he shouldn't have to have any problems getting up to the Doulahan and make his fight. And I am joined by Chanigan. How is the land of internet treating you, my friend?
Hello. God, it's so good.
It's nice to be connected back to the world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've just been sitting here ranting for, I don't know how many minutes now, 22? Almost a half hour on my own. Yeah. So it looks like Caleb is just slightly ahead of Demon. There has been a little bit of divergence, but Caleb went to the battleground before Bone Dungeon and got exit, while Demon went straight to Bone Dungeon, missed out on that first exit check. So Caleb got a little bit ahead of him with some warps. Lost a little bit of time with the block puzzle at Falls Basin, but I think he's keeping a good pace here. Both of our runners basically doing the same things, though there's been very little divergence.
Nice.
And it looks like, and Caleb is getting cure for his troubles from Doulahan.
So I think they're only missing, both runners only missing Mobius Crest and Thunder Rock, right? And Mega Grenades.
Yes, so those are about the 3 go mode items that they're missing here. Oh, it looks like Caleb decided to spend his money at the sweet old lady who sells seeds in Windia. That's a pretty rare occurrence. I don't think I normally see people shopping there. And Caleb stopping to pick up Nora. This could cost him the match. We'll see how that plays out for him.
Not gonna lie, I never knew that old lady was selling seeds.
Oh yeah, no, it's all the regions have a seed vendor, I think, but you need to basically fix the area before you can access them. Besides Forest, and it's just sometimes you just don't go to Mount Gale, so there's no point in trying to find that vendor when Fireburg is your one-stop shop for everything you need. Oh man. So both of our runners here. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say good old Pazuzu Tower. I know Caleb really doesn't like Pazuzu's Tower,
but he can't deny that it's got the most check density besides the other major dungeons here, and I don't think he wants to touch the Lava Dome at all. Demon did stop at Live Forest as opposed to Caleb, who opted to go past it, and he gets life for his troubles from the giant axe chest.
Very good, very useful spell.
Yeah, definitely. Going in with just Phoebe having life is no buenos. You basically have to kind of change your entire strategy there, and it does end up costing you a bit of time. You can't be as reckless. And it looks like Caleb just got Gaia armor. That'll definitely give him some protection from water and poison and sleep now. So he now has insomnia. Congratulations.
Looks like Demon's doing the same thing as Caleb, going to Mount Gale.
I mean, both of our runners here probably have a lot of runs under the belt now, and if I was in their position, I'd be doing the same thing. I mean, Mount Gale's a much faster check than any of the other two locations you have available to you in the Windier region. And with having Exit in your arsenal, it's trivial to run to dual hand and then just leave.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
And let's see what Excalibur chest gives. Flare, that'll definitely give him some firepower.
Yep, really useful against Demon King, Dark King, not Demon King. What am I thinking?
I mean, Demon King, Dark King. He's probably called Demon King in the Japanese version. I don't read kanji yet, but as soon as I get those lessons down, Chad, I'll be sure to report in on what it actually says in Japanese. Looks like the only resistance that both of our runners are missing here is fire resistance for the last encounter. Being able to survive those flare spells and have them do half the damage is exceedingly nice. Let's see which floor our big chicken is on. Not on floor 1. Looks like Caleb's gonna opt to do his odd floors first. And with the enemies cleared out without him using Exit, that's now probably gonna be a lot easier. Looks like Big Bird was hiding out on floor 5.
Yep.
Let's hope he rolls pretty low HP. Having drawn out fights with Pazuzu is never something you want to deal with. It looks like Demon's gonna go to the big tree here. Not a very popular option for our runners here since it's only one check for all their troubles. But if it's got a go mode item, this could pay out big for him.
Yeah. Big tree is not too bad regarding length. Can normally do it in about 5-ish minutes, maybe less, depending on the enemy, where the enemy landed.
Yeah.
So it can be a quick check.
Yeah, I think the big thing that gets on everybody's nerves is how many different methods of travel you have to implement while in here, and just the enemy density as well. Like, you get a bad shuffle and you feel like you've taken 50 fights in this stupid tree while you could have been checking like 2 or 3 other places. Demon's got a frog sitting in the way of his grapple here, just like we were talking about. Enemy density not being nice to him right now. Oh, Big Bird's on phase 2 for Caleb. Looks like he's doing okay here. Having Phoebe as opposed to Kaylee for this fight. I almost forgot that Kaylee was the one you bring here in vanilla. So like having Phoebe here and basically everything she does to Pazuzu is big damage, whether it be white or even if he's got his Psy Shield up, he's weak to the arrow damage. Kind of trivializes this fight. Caleb getting low on HP here, should be able to pick himself up with a life. Let's hope he doesn't get petrified. He did get a beak, but it looks like Kaylee dodged it. Just took damage. Psy Shield down. Demon not having too many other enemies in his way for the big tree here. So when you navigate this wall coming up on Demon's screen here, do you usually, after the second drop, do you just hold right and take that little slip off to the little next step down, or do you go up and then drop?
I go up. It's all how I always done it, and I never stop. I always go full speed.
Yeah, I think the first time I did that little slip drop for instead of going up, I did it on accident, and I was like, oh wait, I could just hold A here and hold hey, and I don't have to do like a quick let go regrab. Ooh,
Caleb getting the petrified.
Ugh, you hate to see it. This Pazuzu probably rolled about 100% as well, so not extra bad, but getting down the phase 3 like that after enduring all that damage just to have a reset, not something you want to see. Demon getting slowed down by these, it looks like extra chunky slime mobs here, and it's probably going to take him 2 or 3 turns to get through these guys. And not having good luck with the sword swings either. Nice crit on Phoebe there. It looks like Caleb's learned his lesson. He's not going to be picking up Ben any chance he gets. But Big Bird just pile driver Ben. Yeah. That pile driver move is mean, man. All right, Demon about to take on Ghidra. Poking the stairs there for good luck with the sword. Oh, he almost exited.
Almost exit boss.
That would have been so heartbreaking. He'd be back at the entrance of a live forest and he'd have to do all that over again. I'd be so frustrated.
But at least with Phoebe, Ghidra's pretty much a walk in the park. No, nothing, not too hard.
No, Caleb doesn't have any heal items. He doesn't have life or heal or any heal potions.
Ooh.
I mean, at this point, you might just want to take the L and reset. I think personally that's something I would do here. It looks like Caleb was opting to take the L here after seeing that he's basically going to be looped in. Ben doesn't have enough HP to tank enough hits to deal damage in between. So it looks like Caleb is going to bank on some good luck here. Let's hope he gets through this with no problems on this next roll. Demon about to pick up his big tree item. He gets heal, ironically enough. So that does complete his white spell collection. But that does mean he'll probably have to do P Tower now. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Maybe.
Oh, maybe
looks
not.
Looks like he thought about it, but if I remember from an interview, I think Demon hates Pazuzu's tower with a fiery passion, so he might be opting to go to Lava Dome instead. It would be an interesting check, but it could pay off for him here if Pazuzu doesn't have anything.
And what's worse for Caleb, he never saved. So he can't leave, he can't exit or reset. So he's stuck in on Pazuzu's.
Yeah, and that could be super frustrating for him. Saving is definitely one of those things I've been noticing. Like if I'm not at a certain level range for a certain encounter, I've started to save beforehand. While it does cost me like a few seconds here and there, if I'm stuck in something and someone rolls extra chunky and I'm just not prepared, having that backup save is a lifesaver.
Oh yeah.
Demon entering Volcano. This first item should be a go mode item if I'm not mistaken. No, never mind. It was Vanilla Axe. Caleb completed. He picked up the first chest in Volcano, and then he pieced out. He did not go and fight Medusa. So whatever's at the top of this volcano, I'll be interested to see what it is.
Yeah, we're running out of useful items. Like, not useful, useless, I should say.
Yeah. And neither of our runners have the Venus Key nor the Gemini Crest, so doing the exit strategy from the Sealed Temple really wouldn't be beneficial at this time for checks. This Medusa fight should be super easy with Phoebe too, though. Caleb almost at phase 3 here. Just doing his best to hang in there. Yep, it doesn't matter what game Caleb runs, he'll probably keep that backward sprite till the day he dies.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's when I learned there was a Mystic Quest randomizer, and I saw Caleb running it. One of the first thing I did is create the backward sprite for Caleb, and I'm currently working on the on egg sprite.
Careful, he might ask for a backwards egg. Oh no, Caleb!
Ooh.
Miscounting the bird flaps here and taking a size shield. He was so close.
Yep.
I missed what the what Medusa dropped for Demon.
Yeah, I was too focused on Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo Helm. Okay.
Okay.
Well, decent
getting,
armor.
Yep, getting his last piece of gear he really needs for the final boss. I mean, Noble Armor should do you just fine. He's got the Aegis Shield, Cupid Locket, so everything else that he needs in terms of status prevention, he's got. The Venus Key from the mines.
Okay. Still need Wake Water to get the chest. Both chest. Or Gemini, yeah.
Or Mega Grenades and Thunder Rock. There's a couple different ways this could be tackled. I'll be interested to see what Ruben's giving us at the end of Mines here.
Yeah, this is one of the things I like about Mystic Quest, at least this randomizer, is that there's so many ways to get multiple checks. Either with the, like you said, the Mega Grenades and Thunder Rock to get the Venus Key check, or with Wake Water. There's so many ways. That's what I really like.
Yeah, it's definitely super nice. And I mean, it really just kind of opens up those options for our runners. And I mean, we might be sitting here watching Caleb struggle through this, but if Big Bird's hiding a Go mode item, this is bank for him, because Demon still hasn't made this check. Demon could go through all these other checks instead of doing P Tower and find out that, unfortunately, he'll have to do that eventually. But I think the overworld versatility and what Ham has done with the programming and being able to make those checks kind of in or out of logic, I really do enjoy that freedom. Ooh.
Bad miss for Phoebe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Caleb's not using Phoebe's auto feature.
I find that's I find it's kind of divisive in the community. Demon getting Mega Grenades for his troubles here. This could be big. Yeah, some people don't like the possibility of auto screwing up or want to learn the thresholds, and others just want that full control. I personally am of the mind of swapping to auto whenever I know exactly what my party members are going to be doing. So, like, if I notice I'm at half HP or my party member's at half HP, I'll pop auto and I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to use Cure. So close, Caleb. You could do it. And finally, the jerk bird is down. Let's see what Ruben's dad's giving us.
I usually use the auto feature just to get Ben up and running. Mobius Crest. Okay.
So 2 go mode items for Demon here. Let's see if this is Thunder Rock hiding behind Big Bird.
Oof.
Fire.
Not good. So
No.
our go mode item is probably in Lava Dome.
Potentially, or our
Has to
runners could
lead
go.
to our go mode item.
Or they could be sent on a wild goose chase to go get Kaylee too. They could get Wake Water to go Venus Key checks to go get Elixir. There's still a lot of options on the table for our runners here. Caleb opting to beef up after that fight here, not taking any more chances with any of these fights. There's a conga line in front of that life chest. Good gracious, what was that? 3-4 encounters?
3.
Ugh. At least he's got Ruben too, so he should be able to white his way through here, no problem. Oh, Caleb's going through the Alive Forest. I don't know if he's going to finish Big Tree. He might just be checking the Giant Axe chest here.
Yeah, the Giant Axe, get life. And be sad, because he would have needed it for Pazuzu.
Yeah. Sometimes it's... Ooh, Thunder Rock and Lava Dome. That is go mode for DemonRHK here.
Yeah, immediately leaving.
Yep.
We're not checking anything.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would get the heck out of there as fast as possible. The Demon at level 16. Also, Caleb being at level 16. Looks like Caleb's going to go ahead and finish out Giant Tree and fight Ghidra. I wonder if Demon will opt to beef up a little bit or do a little bit more searching for spells. Looks like he was gonna go to Aquaria and then realized he should just run to Windia.
Level 16 is a good place to be. Even then, you'll get a few levels in Doom Tower.
Yeah, even if you fight just the bosses, I think you get just enough XP to get up to level 18 from 16.
Yeah, just to get that 700 HP threshold.
Yeah,
that's pretty much my go-to.
Yeah, but typically the tower is not that kind, and it'll put enemies in your way just to burn through your spell slots. So hopefully Demon remembers to do his seed shopping before he takes off. I saw him buy explosives in Fireberg. I don't remember seeing if he stopped and picked up any seeds yet. He might be picking those up at Max Ship.
I think he bought a few ones when he was in Fireberg. I think 20 or something.
Yeah. Typically when I'm on my way in go mode here, I just stop by that vendor for seeds on Max Ship and I say, shut up and take my money. And then get all that stuff. Moon Helmet and Elixir for his troubles from Spencer's Cave. So it's a good thing our runners didn't check that after getting Wake Water, and a Charm Claw from the Mobius Crest check. I don't think either our runners have Meteor or White.
Nope. It's not too bad to have Flare. Pretty much the only spell you need.
Basically. Now, having Arrow is also a great backup for Wyvern. He's the only enemy that you can't just flare down. So, as long as... I think both of our runners have Arrow, so they should be set in that regard. Caleb almost cast spells on those gooey slimes there. We're quickly remembering that that's no bueno. Let's see if Demon opts to pick up the red chest from Max Ship here. Enemy layout looks pretty friendly so far.
Yeah, pretty good.
Let's see what we get in the hallways here. First clear. Second's good. Do I see 3? Yep. No enemies in the way there. And he gets Meteor from Max Ship, so he should be covered with wizard spells for all his fights now. Yeah, wizard's my spell I use on Wyvern if I have it. If not, it's usually Arrow, and if not, White. Typically, I have one of those 3 by the time I finish a seed. I think there's
Looks like we're going seed shopping.
Yep. just dumping all of his money and saying, let's go. Caleb won the Geedra fight. This one, I don't believe should take a lot of time. I don't think Geedra rolled pretty high. Especially now that he's packing Flare and White. This should be easy peasy. Let's see if Demon picks up the chest in the bottom right here. He does. Yep. Let's see what we get. I think Gemini Crest. No, Quake. You hate to see that spell. Yep. I almost like recoil a little bit whenever I see Quake now. It's so awful. It does like 200 damage.
Yeah, without a doubt, the worst spell.
Yeah.
In Mystic Quest.
And I think that's purely because the way it's coded. Like all the spells are coded linearly, so they basically don't scale very highly with your stats. They're basically like prog scaled. So where you pick them up in the game is like they're power scaled to those areas. Demon opting for the life strat on Rex. I find that's the most consistent strategy. Exit has a chance to miss. Now life does have a chance to miss too, but I find it's way more consistent than using exit. Caleb getting his heal. I'm sure he's not too happy about that. Let's see where he goes next. I don't think he has Wake Water, so Firebird is really the only logical option he has available to him.
Let's see if he goes into the mines or into Lava Dome.
Yeah.
But without Mega Grenades, I doubt he'll go Lava Dome. Probably go to Volcano.
Yeah, I try to... doing some shopping here. Oh, picking up Ruben for the check.
So we're doing
mines.
we're doing the mines then.
I mean, honestly, if I didn't have Mega Grenades, that would be my route of choice. There is mines, then Volcano, and if I still didn't have Mega Grenades, I'd be very angry about killing that worm without them. Demon making short work of this puzzle here. Usually trips up a lot of our new runners, but after your 3rd or 4th seed with these settings, you just tend to memorize these patterns. And let's see if he gets some easy exits off. Caleb opting to do the exit strat after the Venus Key should save him a few seconds here, so there is still a chance that he could catch up. We could roll a really nasty Dark King.
Yep.
So it's still anybody's race here. It's not over till the fat lady sings, so they say. Ooh, and a miss on that exit there. And that... Ooh, okay, not a lot of damage. So Stone Golem doesn't appear to have rolled high HP. I've had some nasty encounters with a high roll Stone Golem. He'll chunk you for like 700 HP with one of those bricks. The second exit goes off without a hitch, and Demon's on his way to floor 3 now. Caleb using wind and swords on our genie here. I think Excalibur would do about the same amount of damage as if he were to take a flare to the Jin, since it's fire resistant, so if not, maybe a little bit more. So probably the wiser decision to just go with Excalibur here and get the speed bonus. And that crit,
Love to see it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the sword's saving graces there, is when it crits, it's awesome. It's just like, yes, 1400 damage. Basically free real estate. Speaking of free real estate, Caleb's going to go ahead and exit his way out of here, not having to make that trek back. And I imagine he's going to go ahead and check Aaron and pick up Ruben too. Probably finish off Medusa, and then I would say he'd be on the Lava Dome, don't you think?
Yep. Yeah, I doubt he'll pick up Ruben too. He likes to just go and never mind.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing it safe for the tournament this time. He's going to go ahead and pick up Ruben too. I was doing a practice seat earlier today and I accidentally forgot. I took Tristram up to Volcano and I was like, nope, we're leaving. We're going back and getting Ruben.
Yeah, if Ruben too with White is just too useful.
Yeah, Tristram is just too worthless to take anywhere. Demon having some mild traffic on the Skyway here. Oh,
And
skipping
Caleb,
Medusa altogether.
Yep. Yep.
This should
I like
hopefully
that
make
play.
up some.
Yeah, a
it should help him make
few
up some time.
few minutes. Yep.
Now he won't get the Apollo helm though, so he will still only be rocking a tin bucket. He won't have fire resistance, although he might opt to check the chest in Spencer's cave. If he does, he'll get a moon helmet guaranteed, and that will give them the fire resistance he needs. He doesn't need the Apollo helmet. Yeah, taking those flares from Dark King head on without fire resistance is just plain rough.
It's rough. Yeah.
I don't think they're survivable.
Not that low level.
Yeah, because they roll about 800, 900 HP.
Yeah, 800 something.
And so without fire resistance there, it's just one less safety net you have to have Ben tank some hits and keep Phoebe alive and vice versa. And we get some pretty crowded skyways up here. Plenty of dogs and ninjas blocking the fat bird here. Caleb about to pick up his go mode item. This will be Thunder Rock, and then he'll be peacing out. Bye-bye Lava Dome. And let's see how big this bird's rolling.
Oh, very low.
Yeah, that's a pretty low one. I think he's only gotten off to it like an attack and a half. So this should be about a 3 or 4 round fight here. He'll probably get him down before he goes into the last phase. It'll probably trip right to nope. 1 or 2 hits here, and he's down.
Goes.
So Demon on his way to Demon on his way to the last fight. I'll be interested to see if we get a chunky Dark King or a paper thin one. Caleb's on his way to Spencer's cave though. He's almost at Doom Tower. Let's see if Caleb opts to check Spencer in his chests.
Right. Let's see what Darking has.
Ooh, Caleb not checking Spencer or the Venus chest. Oh, no, never mind. He just exited out.
Okay, he's checking, yeah.
I was like, oh, Caleb, are you really going to go there without fire? There we go. Oof. Give me a minor heart attack.
Oh, Darking surviving 2 attacks.
And looks like a sword attack and a white off the start. Okay, yeah, no, I would say about 2.5 spells. Not bad for a phase 1. About on track. But all of our phases can roll different stats here, so this could be deceiving. Phase 2, especially high in crit levels. Ooh, quick phase 2.
Very quick, yep.
Let's see how phase 3 plays out. Phase 3 and 4 are typically our most consistent, but just because they're consistent doesn't mean that they're not nasty to deal with here. Mega White right off the bat. Phase 3 and 4 here on Dark King can lock you in what we like to call triage mode, where you really don't have a break to get any damage in. You're just too busy bringing your your party members back from status ailments or death. Demon getting lucky with those golden web tosses, only getting those tossed on Ben.
Really about he's going straight to Darking, not checking any chests.
Yep. At this point, he's probably a little frustrated with himself with how long he spent on Pazuzu's tower, so probably trying to make up some time here. Nice
Ooh,
crit
big
from
crit.
Excalibur here. Phase 3 rolling a little chunky. Ooh, and a crit from the flare there on Phoebe, instantly
Ooh.
down. But it looks like Ben's got the speed to outspeed Dark King here in phase 3, so he should be relatively safe. Another crit, good.
Another crit. Wow.
Good gracious, you see those on a blue moon every now and again, but the back-to-back spell crits are nasty.
Another
Oh my
one,
god,
yeah.
a triple.
Oh boy.
This is what we call getting locked in triage. What do I hear 4? I
Yep.
see 4 critical hits on Demon's screen. Good gracious.
Uh-oh.
Give this man a break. Can Mega White crit? I don't think it can.
I don't think it can.
God, Lord help us if it can. That would be nasty. I think that'd be an instant party wipe.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Just close enough. I think Phoebe would just have like 100 HP left if it ever crit. Ooh, Demon in phase 4 now. Still getting lucky with those gold webs being tossed on Ben and not Phoebe here. Still having to do a little bit of triage, but looks like Demon's opting to just go ahead and skip all that and have Ben do the triage to himself. No crit this time from phase 4, Dark King. Caleb making his way to the stone golem.
He's making ground. One wipe on Dark King, and we have a very close race.
Yeah. All it takes is one wipe here, and there's a reset on our hands. Looks like Demon's getting a little nervous there with his selections. If he makes a misclick, it's probably game over and having to restart this fight. So trying to be extra cautious with how he handles this. Doing a good job. Being really consistent with those sword swings, not opting for the spell damage. No crit from our spider kids here.
Yep. You really don't want to see. Hey.
And there's time for Demon.
With a race time .gg time of 56 minutes and 1 seconds.
So round 1 of match 1 goes to DemonRHK here. Caleb on the Wyvern refight. GG's to Demon.
I'll see if they want to hop in for an interview.
And again, I want to go ahead and give a big old GG to both of our runners here tonight and all the cast and crew who got everything kind of put together last minute here to bring this stream to you guys tonight. I know I think we had about 12 hours notice to kind of get everything organized together, and everybody just kind of came together and brought this all in.
Yep. And me having internet issues a few hours before. It's so fun.
My heart went out to you, dude. I heard you had ISP issues. I was like, no, it's the worst.
Yep.
Oh, man. And Caleb's cruising. I think if he hadn't had such problems at P Tower, and if there would have been a go mode item there, this would have been a much different race.
Yeah.
But such is Rando. You take some gambles here and there, and some of them pay off, and others not so much.
Yep. I think Caleb took a different path than Demon on the Za floor. I think he got less encounters than Demon.
Yeah, I think Demon took the left route. And could be just a slightly different method of execution here.
Else.
And we are joined by Demon. How are you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. It was a little spicy.
Congratulations on the round 1 win here. How do you feel after getting through that Dark King fight? It looks like it was a little touch and go there for a minute.
Oh, I'll be honest. I've never had to do Dark King without either Flare or White before, and it's basically been just being stuck in Excalibur plus White Mage mode. But it was It wasn't bad. It actually went a lot smoother. Thankfully, especially phase 2, rolled super low hit points. I think that was my saving grace.
Yeah, and getting really lucky with those gold tosses only really being on Ben instead of Phoebe. Although we did see 4 flare crits in a row. That
Oh,
was
jeez.
particularly nasty.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that was just not. It was just not fun. I'm like, okay, I didn't think crit loops existed. This isn't FF1 anymore. Why am I getting crit repeatedly?
Yeah, I noticed that when you get a crit, sometimes you get 2, 3, and 4 crits in a row. It could be very nasty.
yeah, I think phase 2 is the worst offender with that, since all those being technically classified as weapon attacks.
Hmm.
So go ahead and how do you feel about the seed being so open? It was another set circumstances where the world was really kind of your oyster here at the start. Do you want to kind of walk us through your mentality with some of this routing you had tonight?
So, it was a little different than normal because of the lack of the early cat claw until I uncovered that dragon claw. I usually would like to stay in Fireberg and full clear it, but I had to dip out early, so I'm like, okay, we'll go full Aquaria. And my, at this point, probably well-noted hatred for Pazuzu came into play, and I was still on, okay, I'm not ever doing Pazuzu's tower unless it's dead last, so that's the way we went with that. And I just happened to luck out, and Pazuzu wasn't needed here. I think that it was a little bit of back and forth, but it wasn't too terrible. I would have really liked to have gotten maybe a multi for some traversal, but yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, it looks like the gamble of not wanting to do P Tower really saved you here in terms of routing. I did want to ask, in terms of your like coming in without, you mentioned earlier having to basically stick to sword white mage strats. How many practice seeds have you had where you've had to basically practice that method, or is this really kind of your first time having to deal with that?
0. I have at least had flare every time I went into Dark King. That's why I was specifically making sure I was checking every chest along the way toward unlocking, that boss rush, because I'm like, please give me either one, and I didn't, and I went, well, I'm not casting Meteor, so here we go with White Mage Ben and Excal Swings. I figured it'd be a slow, long slog, which is why I even spent the extra couple seconds to grab those last few seeds off the ship, but it turned out that we got a little bit of a paper side tonight, so.
Yeah, a bit papery. Phase 2 and 3, a chunky. Phase 1 and 2, chunky. Phase 3 though. Phase 4 was no slouch. Little thick on those ends there.
Yeah, Caleb
So-
almost done with
Yeah, so
with Darking. That went very quick for him.
I was about to say, yeah, really showing the difference of what having flare in your arsenal can do for this route here. Caleb taking a gamble here, seeing it. Up, arrow finished him off. Wow, 250 HP to finish it out. GG's there, Caleb.
Hey,
GG, Caleb.
thank you. Thanks, fellas.
So it
Yeah,
looks
they,
like
So
the arrow is I don't feel like popping a seed.
only
um,
about a 5-minute difference between the two of you, so a pretty close race tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I was really gambling on Pazuzu Tower with all of the qualifiers that being required and wasting the time there and then wasting the time in Ice Pyramid is just like, whoa, so much, so many like, especially how long that Pazuzu fight took. I think it was like 8 to 10 minutes, like literally
mhm.
with the 5 wipes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty
but
brutal.
I did want to say you two had some very close routing. Watching you two as very minor divergences right up until P Tower, and that's where we saw the split off happen.
Yeah.
Especially, and I wanted to ask you, Caleb, and I didn't want to rub salt in the wound, but how was finding the life spell after going through P Tower? I'm sure that might have rubbed
It
you a little
was,
bit the wrong way.
yeah, it was a little bit of a punch in the gut, but because I was like, I don't want to like, because I was so when I hit the live forest, and I was like, I don't want to like risk running into stuff with, Ben didn't really have a whole lot of AOE, and I was just like, I might be able to get around it, but like I'll come back. I'll get it on the way back, and then having spent so much time prior to that in Ice Pyramid I don't think I got anything required out of Ice Tower or Ice Pyramid. It was just like I should have just done Pazuzu's first because it's so much faster, and I could have, saved some time there, and then because at least I think Flare was in Pazuzu's tower, so
Yeah.
my takeaway here is I need to save before boss fights. That way, if it's a gross dumb fight like that, I can just reset out of it and just walk away.
Mm.
Because like this second wipe, I was like, this isn't worth it. There's no way that this is gonna be worth it. And then it was
Yeah.
the fire spell, and I was committed to it. It's either that or I forfeit.
You definitely put on a good show. Like you had what, like 2 or 3 wipes on Pazuzu, one of them being at like phase 3.
Yeah,
Um,
the first go, I was just cocky, and I thought that I had a little bit of HP left to go, and I was like, Phoebe can get it, Phoebe can get it, Phoebe can get it, and then she got stone beaked, and I should have rezzed Ben, and I would have got through that
Mhm.
fight much faster.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, but that stone beak can always come out and bite you. So, on the
Literally.
happier thoughts, though, both you guys getting exit super early, I did want to
Mm.
ask, because I don't think anybody's really talked about it too much. How much would you say exit influences your checks? I mean, having the viability to just kind of go in and basically make half the legwork for any of our dungeons here, would you say that's kind of the major factor in how you route versus when you don't have exit?
No, I still probably route the same. I'm just madder about it.
Yeah. This happened to be the one seed. I didn't check that battlefield before going into Bone Dungeon, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
what's in the battlefield? And then I get out there and I get exit, and I'm just like, oh, you gotta be kidding.
yeah,
Yeah, what
yeah, always. Because if there's anything that I can get like exit that can make Bone Dungeon that much faster or quicker, I'm gonna do it. So I
yeah,
always check that in the tree house.
yeah, it's almost always worth checking. I find it's almost always worth checking the battlegrounds. Since you've only really got 2 items at the beginning of the game there. Getting a third and maybe a little like a level or 2 out of that battlefield is almost always worth
Hmm.
it. Even if it's a junk item like Charm.
Yeah, the seed felt with that early exit, and then like the early Aegis shield and the bomb start. I was just like, man, this is gonna be a jet seed, and there was like early sky coin. And I was like, okay, or the captain's hat right away in the level 4. So I was like, man. And then I forgot I needed the Mobius crest until Ruben's dad gave it to me. Because I
Yeah,
thought I was just waiting for the Thunder Rock, and then I was like, oh, right, I need this.
yeah, they really made you guys work for those last 3 go mode items. As like mega grenades, you basically had to take a gamble on whether or not Ruben was going to have them. And
This is the second or third seed I've done where you get to Fireberg and there's no claw, but
yeah,
everything is back in Fireberg behind the claw, and it's just like I next time that happens, I just gotta like drop what I'm doing and go back and clear Fireberg.
yeah, and it it was kind of a 50-50 because you had Dragon Claw, so basically all of Windia was available to you. You had the
Hmm.
axe to finish P Tower, you had explosives to finish the P Tower. You only need Dragon Claw and an axe to finish out the Alive Forest and the Giant Tree, and you only need the Dragon Claw for Mount Gale. So opting to take those quick checks with the Dragon Claw and Phoebe 2 right behind you, it's like you make that gamble and it pays off huge if everything's behind Windia.
Yeah, but it
So.
never is.
Well, this is still only round 1 of potentially 3. So this is for anybody who's just joining us. This is the first match. I mean, this is the first round of a best of 3 match between Caleb and Demon for our bracket here. So anything
Yeah,
could happen in the next one.
we'll hope to push a game 3. Even though I have no time to run a game 3 this weekend, but we'll see. But
And I
GG
believe
Demon,
it,
that was really good.
Yeah.
yeah. And Shanikin,
So
if you could confirm for me, for all of our viewers out there checking out the stream tonight, where can they, once the brackets are scheduled, where can they find that schedule?
Yep. All of that schedule is in the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Discord under the SGL channel. Got everything pinned in there. There's a Google document for it. every matches we have. And if you like if you like to help for commentating and tracking, there's a quick little site you go. Again, pin in the comments. So yeah, come join us. We don't
And
bite.
if you, yeah, and if you're just seeing this for the first time, and you're like, man, this Rando is fun. I don't want to like compete in a tournament, but I just want to play it. FFMQRando.net is where you can generate your seeds and get starting to go. And there's a link to our Discord in there. So if you want to join the community, and we have freshly built out new player channel just to kind of run you through how to get everything set up and how to get everything running and how the Discord operates. Please come join us. We'll be more than happy to give you a helping hand on your first couple seeds and maybe set up an informal race if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a ton of fun. For all the FFR people out there, it's way better.
Bold move to throw shade on the FFR
I mean,
channel.
I still love FFR. I mean, FFR has been a part of me for like 3 years, but this is the new hotness in my mind, and it's a ton of fun.
It definitely feels a little bit faster from what I've seen.
And you get to jump, like
Right? Any Final Fantasy where you can jump is a winner in my book.
right?
So, but I think that about does it for us tonight. Would you agree, Chanigan?
Yep, that's about it. Think so. We can go to final thoughts. So, Demon, final thoughts.
Shout out to the 4-minute wipe to the Arbor Day battlefield, slowly paralyzing Ruben to death.
Ooh, yeah, no, I saw that one. That was a bit of a struggle, but I'm glad you only had like one wipe there. Caleb, any final thoughts?
This was a lot of fun. Thanks for throwing this together on such short notice. I really wasn't expecting a restream. Demon, GG's once again, dude. We'll see how we race in the morning. See if it's any better for me.
Yeah, give you the home field.
Yeah. But watch, this could be the one day where like a work meeting comes up and I'm like, oh no, I gotta get fired or keep racing. That'd be fine.
Just paying your boss. My bracket's on the line.
Yeah, right. I don't have time for a meeting.
Furiously
your
guzzling
email and-
coffee.
Yeah, it's only an hour. I'll take an hour of PTO if necessary. Okay, I gotta walk away from the computer for about an hour and 15 minutes. You don't follow me on Twitch, do you? Ah, man, this is fun though. Thanks, guys.
No trouble at all. Thank you
no
guys for bearing with us while we got all this stuff set up. And thanks everybody for joining us in chat tonight. We hope you enjoyed the viewing experience and the commentary. Be on the lookout for more restreams as we finish out the first set of brackets, and I believe all the finals brackets from prelims to finals are all going to be restreamed, right, Chanigan?
Yep, that is correct.
So keep an eye out on Speed Gaming Live for more details. And if you want the schedule when those streams are going up and which Speed Gaming Live channel they're going to be on, feel free to join the Discord for more details. And with that, I will say good night, everybody. Hope y'all had a good one.